Hello all and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is AJ and I post new videos every Thursday. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make some inexpensive DIY Christmas decorations. I personally got all of my supplies from the Dollar Tree, but you can definitely also pick up a lot of these items from the thrift store, which makes it not only a great inexpensive way to decorate your home for Christmas, but also an environmentally conscious one. So if you're excited to get into making these festive DIY Christmas decor items, let's get into the video.
The first craft is a peppermint bowl, and this is not only a bowl that is great for holding peppermints, but also it's made out of peppermints. This is a super simple craft. All you're going to need is a baking sheet with either parchment paper or a Silpat. I, of course, am partial to the Silpat because it makes cleanup so much easier. I will have one link down below if you're interested in picking one up this holiday season. But essentially you are going to lay your peppermints out in a circle, and this can be any size you want. It just really needs to fit onto the back of the bowl that we're going to be placing it on. Then you're going to stick these peppermints in the oven for approximately 10 minutes. It can vary a little bit at 300 degrees. Once they are melted, you're going to take them out and we are going to slip them onto the back of a well-greased bowl. Once you have completed the flip onto the bowl, you're going to carefully shape the peppermints around the edges. You are going to want to work fairly quickly because they are going to start cooling as soon as they're out of the oven, but do be careful not to burn your hands. Wear your oven mitts. Fair warning, if you don't have baker's hands, don't touch this barehanded. Once your peppermints have had a chance to cool completely, I say give it about an hour. You're just going to pop it off the back of the bowl and you're done. You have made a beautiful peppermint bowl that you can use to store pretty much anything or peppermints. If you want this to last longer than one season, just slap some Mod Podge on it and you'll be good to go. Next, we are going to make some marbled ornaments, and these are definitely my favorite DIY project. They're super easy to make and they look beautiful. So you're just going to grab a clear ornament, it can be glass or plastic, and you're going to swish some water around on the inside. You don't have to be super precise with this, just make sure you're kind of swishing all the surfaces. Then you're going to dump out the water and start adding in some paint. For this first one, I went with red and green because Christmas. You're going to squish in a decent amount of paint. You want to make sure that you're covering a good portion of the inside surface of the ornament. And you can put whatever colors you want in whatever pattern you want. Just make sure that you're filling it up with enough paint. Don't worry if there's a little bit extra. We can definitely pour that out at the end. Once you've added the paint in, you're going to simply tap it against your hand to cover the entire surface of the globe. Some paint might come out the top, don't worry about that. Just make sure you're working on a surface you don't mind getting paint on. And you're going to just keep tapping it around your hand until every surface is covered. And if you want to get an even stronger swirling effect, just keep tapping. Once you are happy with your swirled surface, you're just going to set the ornament aside to dry for about 24 hours. I then proceeded to make these ornaments in a ton of different colors because it was ridiculously easy to make and so pretty. I am really excited to give these as gifts this year and to use them to decorate my own tiny Christmas tree. Also, don't feel like you have to make these just for Christmas. I think these could work any time of year. I did this one with green and blue to sort of resemble the earth. You can also do this with ornaments that are not round. It's the same process, just fill it with paint and tap it around. Once your ornaments have completely dried, you can add the tops back on and you have beautiful homemade DIY marbled ornaments. Again, I'm going to give these out as gifts because I think that they're so pretty, but you can also just make them for your own tree. I think this is a great craft to do with kids, especially because what kind of kid doesn't like playing with paint? Next, we have a Scrabble tree chalkboard, and I actually did this on the back of a Dollar Tree chalkboard sign. And you are going to simply take some Scrabble letters, or in my case, stickers, because I couldn't find any Scrabble letters, and you are going to write out whatever you want to write out. I decided to go with the lyrics for Oh Christmas Tree, because I can never remember the lyrics, so I thought it might be good to have. You're going to simply lay these out on your board. If you're doing Scrabble letters, you're going to glue them down. If you're using stickers, you're just going to stick them on, and work out in a triangle, essentially, to create your Christmas tree. My only caution with this is to make sure that you have enough of every letter. I actually ran out of several different letters here, so I misspelled branches and ended with just Xmas because I needed to fill up the rest of that space. But I still think it's pretty cute.
Perfect.
Boom! Christmas tree.
Oh,
Christmas tree. And then if you had chalk, here you could write Merry Christmas, or Days Till Christmas, or any other number of things.
Or Nuckleput.
Yes. This is why it's best to do this with Scrabble letters. But I wanted to give the idea with stickers.
Even with the stickers, I do think this DIY turned out pretty cute, and I'm gonna put it on my front door. Finally, we have mini yarn bobble hats. I am a huge fan of all things winter, including knitted items, and these little hats give that look with much less effort. You're gonna need a toilet paper roll, and you're simply gonna cut this into sections, however big you want the brim of your hat to be. I cut mine at about 1/2 inch. You can cut yours bigger or smaller depending on what you're wanting. Once you have cut the roll, it's time to start cutting the yarn. I went with red because it seemed the most festive to me, but of course you can do this with any yarn you have on hand or any color for any seasonal activity. You're going to cut a length of the yarn. Fair warning, you're going to need a lot less than I have. And then you're going to wrap it around the toilet paper roll, creating essentially a knot there at the bottom. We're not going to tie it off or anything, just create that little knot there, and then you're going to keep on going. You will need approximately 40 strings, and you're just going to keep tying them around the toilet paper roll until it is completely filled up. Once the roll is filled up, you're actually going to flip the yarn inside out. That helps hide those knots that we were creating earlier. You're going to flip all the yarn through to the other side. Take your time with this step and make sure that all of the yarn is through and that the brim of the hat is sort of flattened out again. We want to make sure that the yarn is not going to get caught up when we are finishing the project. From here, you're going to grab another shorter length of yarn to tie off the bobble. Again, I made my original yarn way too long, so don't make yours quite as long as me. I ended up wasting quite a bit, but it wasn't completely wasted. I put it outside for the birds to make nests out of. But you're gonna tie off your smaller piece of string quite tight up at the top, wherever you want your top of your hat to be. And you're gonna tie it in a knot, make sure it's tight and secure. If you want your hat to have a little bit more structure, you can stuff a styrofoam ball on the inside. That just sort of helps puff it up a little bit. It's definitely not necessary, but I really liked the look of mine with that inside. Now it's time to cut off the excess from the bobble. Again, please make your initial yarn just a little bit shorter than I did. And there you have it, a super cute little bobble hat. You can put him out as decoration all on his own or stick him on top of a slightly less festive item to make it super Christmassy.
I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and ring the little bell icon so you get notified every time I post a new video. Also, leave a comment down below if you decide to make any of these Christmas decor items and let me know how they turn out for you.